Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great program for you today. You know, I had a program set up, then I didn't have a program set up because, you know, I have to do two programs on Fridays and two programs on Saturdays because I do one for KPFT, which is aired at 11 a.m. Central on Fridays, and it is aired at noon on Thursdays. So on Thursdays and Fridays, it is crazy preparing two shows. So anyhow, I prepared my show and I used quite a few outtakes from several shows onto the program on KPFT. And I don't know if you guys remember that really passionate part that I gave about oil companies and what they're doing to us all. And oil companies are pretty much taking our money. They're thieves, right? All that money is it's not money that's missing or anything like that. They just take it because they can. They just take it because they can. So I said at the end of the program, oil companies should be nationalized. And I'm going to give you a rationale. And before I go into Rudnin's commentary, I want to give you a rationale. This is important. Water is available to us all. It flows and it was presented here to us. And what we charge for water is the government runs water. It's a resource that we need. Government runs it, local government, all different municipalities, etc. They filter the water and they give it to you. Now, there are a lot of companies right now that are trying to take over water just like they take over petroleum. Well, there's no difference between water and petroleum. There's just less petroleum on the aggregate than water, but it was placed there eons ago for us to use. So my question has always been, why so much special treatment for oil when that isn't given to water? And if you give it to oil, watch out, it's coming to water. If you doubt me, ask the people in Chile. Ask the people in Chile. Okay? All right, let's see. Egberto live in any style, synced or not. EW still on top. Your audio, video out of sync. Damn it. I am so sorry. Audio is faster than video. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it corrects itself over time. All right, let's go with Rudnin. Michael Rudnin says, Tax Policy Center says, let me see if I have drop packets. 1,308 drop pockets. That is equivalent to divide that by 50 few seconds. Okay. Tax Policy Center says 61% of Americans paid no federal tax income in 2020. 40 plus years of neoliberal trickle-down economics have made the super majority of Americans so poor. They have nothing left to give. So what's the Republican plan in the face of this? Crush the poor, especially minorities, while using the culture war as distraction. Only corporations and the wealthy prosper under Republicans. Yes, the class war exists, and Republicans aim to make sure those few at the top win it, despite being at a 9-to-1 population disadvantage, only if we let them. Rudnin, I love that. But look, that's what my book, as I see it, Class Warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. Pick it up. politicsdoneright.com/books. politicsdoneright.com/books. Because I discuss some of that in there as well as in the book, How to Make America Utopia. But anyway, let's continue. Texas Supreme Court rules against abortion providers, closing last back door to block 6-week ban. Forget small government conservatives. This is what happens when you let Republicans hold power, right? They like small government until they are in power, and then they want to control your entire life. That's the name of the game. India says it accidentally fired a missile into Pakistan. The incident occurred because of a technical malfunction during maintenance early this week. India's defense ministry said in a statement, before Russia invaded Ukraine, I kind of imagined that this would be how World War III started. Now you think it's actually Russia invading Ukraine? Hey, look, the oligarchs in Russia, I cannot believe that they don't love the Western lifestyle with their stolen money so well that they're going to let Putin destroy their form of life, making them pariahs throughout the world. I don't think they're going to like that. I am wondering if Putin can survive. Your thoughts? I do not know if Vladimir Putin can survive. All right. Biden to ban U.S. exports of Russian vodka, diamonds, seafood. No more caviar. What are we going to do? But seriously, this will most definitely annoy Putin's ally. The order will also stop the U.S. from exporting what the administration called luxury items to anyone in Russia. Those products include high-end watches and clothes, jewelry, top shelf, liquor, and luxury vehicles, all of which feature prominently in the lifestyle of the mega-rich oligarchs. And remember, their families and kids and all of that. That's why the kids of the oligarchs are saying, Daddy, Daddy, please talk to Putin. He's got to stop this. Putin has got to stop this, Daddy. Putin has got to stop this. Yeah, he's got to stop it. I forgot to turn on my local record. That's a shame, but it's just starting on now. So I guess I'm 12 minutes into it. All right. Otra palabra. Bridge MCP says, hey, y'all. Michael Rodman also says, Egberto, I'd like you to take this. Jussie Smollett sentenced to 150 days in jail for staging hate crime. Smollett, who at one time had a starring role in the TV series Empire, was making $2 million a year. Enjoyed splashy celebrity as an openly gay black man, was convicted in December on 5 counts of orchestrating a massive fraud, portraying himself as a victim of racist and homophobic crime in 2019. 150 days, that's what? 5 months in jail. Wow. Wow. No comment. Yvette Avery Herod will be talking in a little bit about everything you can teach me about what's going on in the labor world today. We haven't forgot. Bridge MCP says, I thought there was a fine as well, Michael. I hope there was. Bridge MCP says, Hola, PDR Pasi. And Egberto, and then she writes, Egberto Willis, I need the rest of that sentence. Call the station after my KPFT show and call me socialist. I called. You know what you guys are going to hear? You guys are going to hear the entire conversation between me and this lady who called the station wanting my neck. She called the manager of the station. She wanted my neck. She is now a friend who is waiting on my next call. All right, let's see what else we got here. Tom C says, happy spring. 3 inches of snow today in Michigan, but melting tomorrow. Hola a todos. Hey, I love you, Bridge MCP. And Tom C, you know you're talking my language, brother. Happy spring. And Tom C just had 9 inches, getting 8:12 tonight. Oh, God, I'm so feeling sorry for you guys. Audio is faster than the video. I hope it fixes itself, but we'll see. All right, Eric Hayes says, Hidalgo office getting investigated for her appointment of her colleague with no experience, getting an $11 million contract. Let's see what the Texas Rangers find. Let them find a list. I know Lina Hidalgo personally, okay? I know what politics look like. And they're going to try all kinds of things to get, because this 31-year-old woman is the most powerful politician in Harris County, the second largest county in the country. Lina Hidalgo. She beat, and by the way, she's going to get flack from both sides because of envy on the left side, because she's not a part of the machine. So everybody's going to be gunning for her. That's why she has had to be so clean. So let them search. They'll waste a lot of taxpayer dollars, but hey, what can I say? That's what they do best. Eric A says, question, why does the government keep announcing every little thing, thus taking away any elements of surprise, if any? Example, the Poland jet debacle. Blinken says yes on Sunday, green light then. They later nixed that idea. Now, he never said yes. He never said yes about bringing jets to a United States base in one of the NATO countries to then fly from the U.S. base in one of the NATO countries to, where Russia could look and track that plane from Germany as it's flying and says, it's about to cross into a war zone. Engagement from Germany with Russia. Look, guys, Biden said it best, and I didn't get the clip because I was on. I was talking to this woman. He said, "We are really talking about World War III because again, the escalation. If we go into war, NATO with Russia, then Belarus comes in with NATO with Russia. Kazakhstan, even though it said it wasn't going to help Russia." They don't have a relationship per se with the West. So Kazakhstan is going to come in. Then there's this little breakaway republic right next to Finland that isn't contiguous there. I mean, it's going to turn into a original European mess. And because those countries are going to get beaten so badly by the overwhelming force of the West, we open the door for nuclear war because they're just not going to want to lose. And Putin, I think, is a nut job. And, I mean, look, it's a whole lot here. Bridge MCP says, I think, Eric, because last time you said nothing and got involved, so they are being very transparent. Exactly. I mean, it's funny. You do, they complain. You don't do, they complain. Haiku 333 says, if they say nothing, the right complains. Biden is not doing anything. They say something, the right complains. Biden has blown it because of surprise. It's just what I said. All right, E2247, welcome aboard. He says, fascists insist their ideology makes countries more efficient and able to serve their people. They fail to also say their economic condition worsens, starvation, malnutrition, disease, education, and public health is the rule. And, we don't have to go too far to find that out. Just look at the red states, look at the blue states. See where the educated people live and where most of the uneducated people live. I mean, and we're not slamming any of the citizens of these red states. We're just saying your government does not care about you. So therefore, they don't invest in most of you. It's all on you. That's all we're saying. So you in a red state, good luck with healthcare. It's amazing. I have some stories I'll have to tell later on. All right, Melanie Keaton. Good evening, my beautiful Melanie. Good evening. All's the happiest day of the week. There goes Melanie. She's trying to say it's Friday. All right, let's see. Peggy Lopez says, hi all. Welcome aboard, Peggy. Eric Hayes says there was a fine and he and his family were very defiant after he was sentenced to. Look, I think it's a shame. The one thing you don't play with is you don't go out there and claim some sort of a racist thing happened to you that didn't, because you don't have to. What got me with the Smollett case, right, is why create a story that is so prevalent already? If the new book that I'm writing, I am chronicling from the time I came to the States and my first presentation to American style racism, right? And I was just walking down the streets in Brenham, Texas, and guys in a pickup truck doing a certain something, right? And then I'm walking it through from college, I'm walking it through corporate America, business America, banking America, and the things that I went through. And you don't see me having to make up anything because it's no reason to. It's in your face every day. So why make it up? You want it to be artistic, that's why, right? The worst kind of racism isn't the one where it's artistic and somebody draws something on you or throw. The worst one is the one that affects your soul, the one that affects your personal economy, the ones that affect the well-being of your kid, the one that affects your health. These are not the ones of people calling you the N-word or the S-word or any of these things. Those are words. That's why when people tell me things, it's like, ha, 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 ha. For me, it's funny. And I've always been that way, even in Brenham when that incident happened, right? So Smollett case, disappointing because it was unnecessary to prove a point. It's in your face. And most Americans aren't going to see it because they don't live it, right? Or a large percentage of Americans, that is. But it's in your face. You don't need to do it. So I'm very upset. Smollett is, well, let's go to the next one. Let's see what else we got here. Alistair Waters, welcome aboard. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late, but look what came in today's mail. Wait, what came into today's mail? Are you going to tell us? Or yes, you can share the picture. You can share the picture. I always want to hear from my peeps. Share the picture. All right, let's see. What we got here. Copy. Racism has no place in Earth. I'm with you, Eric. There is only one race, human. I agree, Breach. That's why I love you so much, Breach. We just have that different kind of pigmentation, right? My green mug, oh, you go, girl. Send me that picture. I want to put it up on the screen. Send it to info@politicsandright.com. I try to pick it up and get it on the screen either today or tomorrow. But I want to see your face with it now. You got to take take your picture in the mug and click and do it, right? All right. Daniel Ado says Smollett should be forced to undergo psychological evaluation. He clearly is very disturbed. Daniel, it seems like you and I are on the same wavelength on this one, brother. What can I say? Anyhow, here's where I want to go. Today, I had, you guys can go to politicsandright.com later on when I'll put the program that I did on KPFT. It was on air at 11 o'clock a.m. Central. And listen to the program that I did today. It was a pretty solid program because what it did is it was almost like most of the best of all with some KPFT edition, of course, but a lot of the besties from the shows this week kind of put together. And so, yeah, go buy the mug. I hear you. Hi, Coop. I'm going to put that link. I'm going to take you up on it right now and put that link so you can go get that. How do you say it? So that you can go get that mug. So I'm going to put that link in there right now since you got your mug. And if you send me that mug, young lady, I will go ahead and para ver. Aquí está. All right. The link for the mug is, hey, get your butt in there. All right. That's not it. Let's see. Help me, guys. Why is this computer misbehaving today? There's a link. All right. There's a link for the mug. All right. I want you to listen to this. I want to give for the people that are just coming in right now, I want to let you guys understand what happened. Today at KPFT, I did my program. On Thursdays, I do it at noon Central. On Fridays, I do it at 11 Central. It's over the air. And people listening, and normally when the pandemic is over, I'll be back in the studios. But while the pandemic, thank you very much, Alistair. While the pandemic is still active, right, I can't go into the studio. So I MP3 the program in. So, but people still call in, and they call in mostly when they want to complain. And this woman complained. I want you, guys, give me those thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and give me those likes, please. All right. So I want you to watch this conversation. And sorry for the video because my head is all over the place because I'm on the phone and I'm trying to tape and all that good stuff. I want you guys to check this out and then we'll take it on the other side. Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
My name is Egberto Willies, and I think you called the station about me, and I wanted to see what was your concern.
I find your programming really subpar.
Okay.
You even said something a couple of shows ago that was Marxist thinking about oil companies should be taken over by the government. That. Anyway, I'm 80 years old now. I have been contributing for years and years and years, not large amount. But anyway, I've contributed by large amount because I cannot believe we're becoming socialists and you're helping.
Can I ask you a question?
People are hearing you. Sure. Well, do you want me to read one of your books and test how to deal with people like me? Yeah.
Are you? Let me ask you this: are you a conservative?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not. Yes, I am a conservative.
That's good. And you know what? I speak to everybody. That's one of the things
No, you don't.
I just spoke.
Don't, but you say you do, but you do not.
Did I just call you?
Yes, you did.
Did I have to call you?
Listen to me, but your program doesn't speak anything but democratic socialism.
Right. Let me ask you a question, ma'am. What is it that I want that you don't?
Well, if you think that oil companies should be taken over by the government. Why don't
Did I say that?
something Maduro would do in Venezuela?
No, that's not what I believe in at all. And
That's
that's
what you said on the radio.
that's not what I said. Can I have the tape? And let me tell you what I said, and because that's the reason I called you. Because if I am coming across incorrectly, it is my job to make it right. It is my job to explain what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying, listening to you and listening to the passion in your voice tells me that you don't disagree with me. You disagree about what you think I'm saying, in my humble opinion. So can I say what I want to say in 2 sentences?
Go ahead.
All right, here's what I believe in. I believe that the corporate structure right now in America has screwed most Americans. Maybe not you, but most Americans. And I can show that in the numbers with the income inequality, etc. And it's not the fault of the government that occurs. It's the fault of the actual economic system. And let me just say one thing in 2 words now. What I want is for those things that were not created by intelligent people like you and me. In other words, oil was found in the ground, but there are few people who make a whole ton of money on it. And when they create a scarce supply, what happens then is you and I pay a ton of money for something that God put into the ground and that just a few people exploit it. So my contention is as follows, ma'am. I want all things that are created by God, if you will, that did not come from our intellect, for all of us, we the people who live on this land should own it. But when you create a product, like I have a product called ComDRV, it's a communication product that's used by Boeing and many other companies. I created that with my mind, okay? I made a profit of that. Of course, I gave away a lot of the money, but I made a profit of that. That's a good profit. It came from my mind. But what they're doing to the American people right now with these oil prices is a farce. It's not really true. And if I came across to you like I wanted the pizza shop nationalized, hell no. I believe in free enterprise. And if you listen to I ask you so kindly to go back and pull my program from the KPFT archive and listen to it unbiased. I've never spoke about anything other than free enterprise. But what we have right now isn't free enterprise. We have a few companies that are hurting you and me. Don't you agree with that?
Well, sure, I do agree with that, the entire structure, but are you talking about some kind of woke terminology or something that most people don't quite get yet?
Right, but I need you to get it. No,
I don't want to get it.
No, here's what I mean, ma'am. Here's what I mean. When I say I need you to get it, what I mean is this. If you just agreed with me that those things are true, what I'm saying are true, and I'm saying the solution to this problem is not to nationalize a pizza shop, it's not to nationalize your grocery store, but what it is to make the things that the grocery store is dependent on and all these other things that uses the intellect of everybody else, not to be controlled by a few people. Because here's what happens. When the price of oil goes up, as it should not, but it goes up, right? It hurts you when you buy your eggs, when you buy your hay for your cows, when you cut your meat for your cows. They form a chain that kills when they do it. So if we the people own the oil that God put into the ground, if we the people own that price would stabilize, and everything on top of that, meaning the grocery store can set their own prices because they have a stable market. The farmer can set his own market because he has his own market. All of that is possible. We can really have free enterprise then. But right now we have it's socialism of the corporations. Actually, it's not socialism. It's fascism of the corporations. Can't you agree with that?
Yes, I do totally agree with that.
And if you agree with that, ma'am,
run the government.
Ma'am, if you agree with
the government,
you are the government, ma'am.
just run everything.
Ma'am, you are the government. You are the government.
No, I am not.
Yes.
The government is a bunch of
crooks
on the take.
Okay, let me stop you right there. And who has them on the take, Miss? What's your name, ma'am?
Cecilia.
Cecilia. And who has them on the take, Cecilia?
the big business.
Thank you. So you agree with me,
Major corporations.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
You and I agree, Cecilia. So what I'm saying is, look, listen to me, Cecilia, listen to me. You are we the people. What does the Constitution say? I am a true American. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a better union, created a government. We, because we have not allowed people like me to talk, we forget that whenever they say the government do that, the government do that. That's us. We are the government, but we have allowed other people to run it. So what I'm trying to ask for all of us, including you, is for us to run the damn thing. And how do we start? By taking away those people that you just told me give bribes to the people we elect. Do you follow where I'm trying to get now?
Well, sure.
And that's all I'm saying, Cecilia. You and I are on the same page. You are conservative.
Not exactly.
Really?
You're a socialist.
Cecilia, what is a socialist, Cecilia?
It's somebody that far left Democrats.
What does that mean, though, Cecilia? Cecilia,
all sorts of craziness into our America.
Cecilia, I love you, right? I love you. I only want what's good for you, right? That's all I want.
For me, it's not to hear you on the radio. It's very upsetting. You're just wrong.
But Cecilia, what am I?
And you have that venue that hundreds of people can hear you. It's pitiful.
Cecilia,
Pitiful.
you just agreed with me, Cecilia. You agreed with
What?
You agreed with everything I just told you, and everything I just told you is what I said on that program. But what happens? I don't mean to be. What I want to say here is that what happens a lot of times is we have learned how to listen differently depending on who we think we're listening to. And what I try to tell people, and what I speak about in the book I tell you about, right, is when I talk to you, I respect you. I don't try to change who you are. I try to say we all want the same thing. The outside people that put pressures on you from Fox News or the other places, they try to tell you that I am a caricature, that I am a joke, that I'm some damn liberal progressive that hates. It's a lie. I don't hate. I know when I saw that message in the chat from you, I said, you know what? I'm calling this woman. And you know why I said I'm calling this woman? Because I know how the system has taught us to fight against each other. You and I believe the same thing, ma'am. If I see you in the streets, I'm looking for what's good for you. And the thing about it is, if I say, oh, Cecilia, I'm a democratic socialist, you know what you've learned? You've learned that, that word, that funny word, it's disaster. You know what it really means? It means democracy. It means that the oil companies don't control the oil. It means we do. It means that you can open your own grocery stores and you don't have to worry about the health care that you can't get. I can guarantee you, and this is when I'd say...
That's not America, though.
What is America?
People came here, free enterprise.
That's capitalism isn't... I'm sorry.
Okay.
My bad. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I interrupted you.
The first little generation American who came over here and worked his little heart out, and did the best we can be. And that's what people today need to do. They need to realize, these young kids, that you have to work to get somewhere and be proud of yourself. You don't get it from the government. That makes you a slave.
But I love that you said that, because I call all of us now, we are all antiseptic slaves. I said slave used to be a color thing. It's no longer a color thing. But you know what, Cecilia, here's the thing. I have to go on an interview right now, but I want you have my, I like this conversation that we're having, because you are important to me because you help me be able to tell my message that helps us all. And by seeing what drives you, it helps me. That's why I actually called you. It's not only for you, but for me too. You know what I mean? So, can I ask you to stay in touch with me? Because, and not only that, and keep listening to my program. And soon we're going to have call in, and I don't mind you calling in. Hey, you can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. I don't care. You know, I mean, I just enjoy the conversation, and I know we all want the same thing. I mean, you may not believe it. And by the way, that stuff about kids working, when I first went to college, I paid $4 an hour a semester hour. Now these kids are asked to pay over $50 a semester hour, way above inflation. And you know why? Because of what these corporations have done to our tax base. There's a lot of things that we need to talk about that I don't have the time to talk about right now. But I beg you to keep listening to me and try to listen to me objectively if you can. Do we have a deal?
Well, I guess so, but you aren't taking into consideration that big oil is Argentina and Putin and Iran and all those countries that you're just talking about Texans, Americans. You're not talking about all these other countries that are and OPEC that are controlling the price.
Yes, I am. Actually, if you listen to...
No, you're blaming America.
No, I'm not, ma'am. It's a global, like when I talk about plutocracy is a global thing. Remember, I also spoke about the Ravi Blancos in Panama. That is originally where I am from. These are the same crooks that are in the United States, the same crooks that are in Venezuela, the same crook. Remember in Venezuela, I mentioned Carlos Andrés Pérez. I mentioned in Saudi Arabia, RGB. So I call out all these crooks around the world. That's why I said, please listen to me. And that's why I called you. I wanted to clarify things, you know. Honestly, so please listen to me. And not only that, please give me a hearing. Please listen to me objectively and not just from what we have been indoctrinated or learned from the beginning. Because remember, a lot of our education also come from what the corporations taught us to learn to make sure that they can stay in power. Okay, so I ask...
but I just want to say one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
When you said that about the oil companies being taken over by the government, that is Marxist thinking.
No, you know what that is, ma'am?
No, it's just Marxist.
Again, that's what they tell you on TV, but you know what kind of thinking it is really? Who handles our water?
Well, the state.
Thank you. So that's my point. My point is there are things that we as a society decide that it is so important that we can't leave it for some profit company to screw us the way they screw us with oil. And one of those things is water. And by the way, the corporations are trying to take over water now. Look at, and I've had a program on that. So you don't say the government distributing water is a Marxist thing, right?
Well,
you don't.
Same for everybody, and nobody pays for it.
No. We all pay for water. When you turn your faucet on, the water is free. I mean, God gave us the water. We pay for the delivery of the water through our pipes. We pay for the cleaning of the water and that sort of thing. And the same thing should be for oil. But that's not what we did. We allowed these guys to take this free resource that the land gives us and charge us out and take away our money, take away our savings. That is what I'm trying to say. So when I say the government should take over oil, it sounds Marxist because they taught us to believe that it's Marxist. But you know what? A farmer grows a banana. A farmer grows wheat. A farmer builds these things and he has a right to charge for that. But an oil company don't create oil. He just mines the oil. So we should pay him just like we pay the person who delivers water, you know? And that's what we haven't gotten in our minds yet. So I ask you kindly, I got to go to another call, but please think about what I'm saying and please continue to listen to me. And you know, my website is at politicsdoneright.com. Drop me a line, okay?
I'm not computer literate. That's why I called.
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you. Can I call you back some other time?
Yes, you could. I'm sure you could.
I would love to talk to you, but I got to go on an interview.
I made the point I wanted to make.
But let me ask you, do you agree with me as well?
Well, I don't agree with you, but I don't disagree. I like to hear what you say, but
I appreciate you. I appreciate that you.
It's not for me.
I appreciate that you have a civil conversation with me, man. I really do.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye, Egberto.
Bye-bye. Okay. I hope you like that. Now, when I talk about, a lot of people would listen to that and say, well, she still wasn't convinced of anything or whatever. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody to go ahead and say, oh my God, I've seen the light. I am not looking for that. Whenever you have something like that, it has no staying power. What you have to ask is for people to really stop listening to the forces that need to indoctrinate them into being able to support policies against themselves. Because the only way, people sit down. Let me tell you what trips me out about capitalism, right? The way we handle things here. That you can defend the person who has you building your own cage, or support the person who has you building things you don't have any possibility of going into or using. And then you also defend all of those who are pointing out, hey, that guy is screwing you. He's using your intellect. He's using your labor. He's using all these things and giving you a pittance. And then he scorns you. He doesn't want you around. My goal in life is first of all, to empower everybody. Say, hey, listen to me, guys. You are powerful. We, the people, are the ones who run everything. Punto y final. And it's when you got that in your head. A lady like this, she's, you don't want her to change. She listened to Fox News and you notice what she said? She agrees with everything that I said that has to do with what those that call themselves democratic socialists like the Scandinavian countries believe. She would love it. But then she hears that would make it Marxist. Again, oil and water. Oil and natural resources, water and natural resource. They claim that water is getting scarce. Not true, but they claim what they do is they dirty up the water and then they want you to pay more to clean it. It's a trip what this system has done. And when we get to it, that's what it's all about. Let me get to you guys before it gets too far down. Let's see. Adjust the video cam. Duck that quacks. I can't. I bet it's really nice to her, though, which is good to see. Of course I'm nice to her. I'm nice with everybody. Bridge MCP says, the duck that quacks, he taped it during his radio show and has mic on phone. Yeah, that's what was happening. What was going on is she was she called into the studio and the manager of the studio said, hey, and they gave me the tape of her complaining. He's a socialist. He's a da-da-da-da-da. I am never going to give anything to that radio station ever again. And I'm like, okay. But, And then, anyhow, Lee Grant says, hi, Coop, the piles of corpse that come along with it. No, that's not true. That is a scare tactic. Thank you, Bridge, for noticing I'm nice to everybody. Hi, Coop says, hyperbole with no substance, Lee Grant. It's true. Lee Grant, he got you there, Lee. He got you there, Lee. The duck that quack says Social Security. Exactly. And I bet she's on Social Security. BGMCP says, hard to understand this woman. Yeah, I mean, look, I try. Socialism, us caring for other people over corporations. I like that definition. Haiku 33 says, 333 says, still can't explain what about Marxism you say you don't like. Lee Grant, I rest my case. Timothy O'Brien, she's all over the place. Welcome, Timothy. Engaging with her serves no purpose. Actually, it does. Two reasons, Timothy. It's not only for her. This cut is going to be going singly and with the program. With the program, it's going to get several thousand hits. And when it goes singly, it'll also get several thousand hits. And there are some people at different levels of where she is will actually start thinking on their own. No, Daniel Ado, being nice does not mean condescending. Being respectful does not mean condescending. trying to go where a person is. If you notice, I'm a what do you call me? A humanist. I'm not a God calling person. I believe that there are certain ways oil got there that I don't know, and the water, etc. But in her modal, in her frame, I can get to her not by saying oil was placed there because of the Big Bang and after the decay of the. I didn't have to say that. I just had to tell her, God placed the water, God placed the oil. If you listen to what I say as a humanist, that which I don't understand is my God, right? The one that created all these things. So I don't have a problem saying God placed the oil there, etc. And she could understand that, the conservative that she is. I go where the person is. That's what I talk about in my book, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors. The reason why she was never into just, if you had heard her message to the station, you would have thought she would have torn me to smithereens. And in fact, she started that way. But because, like I said, you go where the person is, that goes with everybody. Then you can actually have that dialogue. Carl Cox says, women believes in a fascist Newsmax, Fox. Well, that's her source of information. And when you have Newsmax and Fox News and what's the other one that's getting clocked? OAN, that's what happens. It's true that they deny diesel exhaust causes brain damage, but it does, just like lead, of course. Lee Grant, 50%, 75%. Okay, E2247 says, Freedom House shows that encouraging more authoritarian approaches to governance over the past year, 60 countries became less free while only 25 improved. I'm glad to see some improvement. Eric Hayes, no college should be held responsible for the cost of education, not the corporate stuff. Get the government to control them, but they don't because of what they do. Well, I am not sure what that means. Okay, High Coop says, I want health insurance that pays for treatment, instead denying it. Good talk. Take out video and clean up her voice for rebroadcast. I should try to do that. Here's the truth. I'm going to try to take out the video and all of that, but I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of cleanup in the voice. I put it through a filter already. It was a lot worse than it is, but I'll put it through a filter and I'll get rid of the video. I'll put some other, put a picture or something to replace the video. I just had to do this real quickly, so that's what I did. Breach MCP. All right. High Coop 333 says, why right-wing loves corporate death panels? It's not that it's the indoctrination part of it. Rise to your feet and walk too. Salvation is here, brother. She called radio program, Eric. I wonder if she knew what? I don't know what you mean. All right, Alistair says, that was proof of how cooler heads prevail, everyone. Egberto, you are an awesome example of patience and kindness. Thank you so kindly. And all my listeners are kind. Even Ledo, when Ledo gives me hell, he at least doesn't give as much hell as I see him give in other chats. But hey, it's cool. All right, let's see what else. Peggy Lopez says, the oil company purchases raw oil from the individual who owns mineral rights of oil. Historically, mineral right came with the landowner. Mineral was separated from land. Please say more about who owned oil. Here's the deal. They don't, the mineral rights, you hear what it says? It's not says mineral ownership, it says mineral rights. And when the corporation digs for the mineral rights, most of the times, I can tell you this from experience from family members on the wife's side, we don't have any land here in the States that we could have said we inherited, right? That the corporations tell you what kind of royalty they're going to give you to dig up the oil under your land. You really don't have a lot of power. Again, Egberto gives a great class in active listening. Thank you so kindly. Brief says, Egberto, well, it's time. You're here chatting. Oh, I forgot again. All right, folks, let me give you my book first and then give me a chance to find the links. I'm Egberto Willies, as host of Politics Done Right, a progressive radio media show on Pacifica Network's KPFT 90.1 FM Houston that engages all ideologies. I found that our political angst isn't mostly ideological. There is a well-designed effort by many in power to control us. If we are at each other's throats, we are less likely to demand our economic and local wishes. In that light, I wrote 3 books. I wrote the first one titled, As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, to describe the entire economy in a manner we can all understand. It highlights why it was designed to pilfer most as it empowers a few, the chosen. The second book, titled, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, take it to the next level. After understanding how the system pilfers, it is incumbent that we can speak to our peers to empower a change. The third book, How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, gives us a place to land. After learning about our economy that is dysfunctional for most and learning how to engage the other side, we point out what would make an economy that works for all. Each book stands on its own, but together they provide the full picture. Please consider getting one or more. You will undoubtedly learn, be entertained, and help us continue the mission with our blogs, articles, videos, and books. Absolutely so. Folks, please go ahead and visit become a member on YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube. Alternatively, you can support us by joining our, what is it called again? Our Patreon. How do you get to Patreon? politicsdoneright.com/Patreon, politicsdoneright.com/Patreon. And the best way, though, is PayPal. You can either do a one-time or a monthly, politicsdoneright.com/PayPal, politicsdoneright.com/PayPal. Visit our store. Guess who visited our store? Guess who visited our store? And check this out. Check out what she did. I actually got it. McAllister, there you go. Check out that picture on the screen. That cup was designed by Bridge MCP, who's in the house right now. And she got her in what color is that? That looks like kind of a lime green thing. She got a lime green cup with Politics Done Right on it. And that showed, what I love about that design from Bridge MCP is it actually shows that we want to entertain, we want to talk to everybody. You notice how Bridge put the stuff on the left, the stuff on the right, and she points out that we do all of this stuff together. That was when Bridge wrote that up, say, hey, great cup, because it tells the PDR story. It tells the PDR story. I'm glad that you like it. Anyhow, Miss Alistair Waters, muchísimas gracias por comprar la taza. La taza, Alistair. Okay, so let's go ahead and anyway, so you can get that at the store, and I just put that link in there. And by the way, there is a catch-all, of course, for all the different ways that you can support us. Just go to politicsdoneright.com/support. politicsdoneright.com/support. I want to show you, I've been wanting to do this all week. How great, what's her name? Sometimes I just get those brain farts, right? Jen Psaki, how good she handled reporters. Check out this one, and it's a very short one. So I want to play it, and then I'll be right back with some closings.
I also wanted to ask you about comments that Representative Madison Cawthorn made about the Ukrainian government. He said in a video that Zelensky is a thug. He said the Ukrainian government is incredibly corrupt. He said some other things, but he also said that Zelensky is pushing misinformation on America. Would the White House like to comment?
I would not. Go ahead.
And that's it. You're going to come with a stupid question? We don't want to comment from a stupid congressman. He's making no sense. He's a traitor. He's an insurrectionist. Why should we be bothered with what he thinks? It does not matter. It does not matter. Anyway, I want to close on this. I want to close a little bit early today, because I got to go set up a link for one of our posse members who's going to give us an update on the labor unions and the labor movement. So I'm going to just say, what's new? Please tell me. Take the show with you. So Avery Everett is going to be our guest on, what's today, Friday? That means she's going to be our guest on Monday. And we have I have two interviews, one right after the other. And I also had a couple this morning. So it's been pretty busy. But here's the deal. Important. Whenever people start to try to call you a Marxist or whatever because you're saying certain industries, healthcare, and energy should be nationalized. And you explain why. It's not a difficult reason to explain why. You want everything to be free enterprise, but when it comes to the basic of humanity, you want to make sure that we don't have the charlatanes, we don't have the crooks, we don't have the businessmen whose sole purpose in life is not any social issues, but simply to make a buck, to get rich on your behalf. And you just give the example of water. You start asking people, water's genesis is no different than oil's genesis. We didn't make it. We didn't make water and we didn't make oil. And they're both in our space. I'm saying in our space, it's a finite resource. And we the people, control our water, how we get our water. And it's very, very inexpensive, except when corporations try to make it not. We have to start fighting back from allowing every single thing humanity needs to be placed for a profit motive. Don't be scared to be called a socialist. Don't be scared if they want to frame you a Marxist. Stick to the conviction of humanity. Stick to your conviction of loving people. Stick to your conviction of loving folks just like you love yourself, and not profiting at the expense of hurting somebody else. These corporate leaders are conscious thugs. They are psychopaths. That they know that there are not real supply problems on many things. That they know people are suffering after leaving a pandemic. That they know they're making record profits and still think we are going to have 8% inflation because we can, because we control the source of production, because we control and we have pricing power. Those are psychopaths. And those people that defend them, I'll be nice, they're pansies who themselves maybe should seek some therapy about self-love, worth, etc. We cannot allow these thugs who couldn't drill an oil well, who couldn't drill a water well. We shouldn't be subservient to those psychopaths, but we have an economic system that allows psychopaths to get to the top because that's what it requires. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.